We start. I've got Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. I took him above, it was between him and Breeze. So he's won 4 more Super Bowls than Drew Brees. Drew Brees has had a nice infrastructure around him. It's not like Drew Brees is Deshaun Watson, where he's just constantly in a bad situation. One of the things about Brady is he doesn't look like vintage Brady this year. There's a couple of things to note. Number one, coming into the playoffs last year, he was in the worst 6-game stretch of his career, and they got to the Super Bowl. I can't pick against them to win the AFC until they just don't win the AFC. It's an annual thing for them, no matter how bad they look in September or October or even December.
Tom Brady's contract, he's making $15 million, which is less than every top-tier quarterback. You can build around that. Tom Brady, you can set your watch to him. I can understand why, given the quarterback options, he'd be one of the first 2 or 3 guys off the board. I can understand taking him ahead of Rodgers. I wouldn't, but I can understand doing it.
And as someone who owns Tom Brady in 3 fantasy leagues, let me tell you, he is washed as and sucks now. He just does not have good football games anymore, and they seem determined not to involve him. But he's also Tom Brady, and you know that the Patriots are just going to turn it on in the second half and crush it, and that Tom Brady will do that no matter where he is or what's around him.
I can't make fun of this pick. It's perfect. I think Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, and you know, there's just nothing to argue about with this.
I'm not so sure that Tom Brady is used to adapting to new coaches, and I think that could prove to be a bigger problem than the players that you surround him with.
Aaron Donald is a game wrecker. He is the best player on right now the best team, which is the Los Angeles Rams. He can single-handedly take over a game. He has double-digit sacks from the interior of the line, which is incredibly hard to do, especially with how quick the game has gotten. I hate the phrase generational talent. I hate it. It's overused. It's just completely useless. Having said that, at his position, Aaron Donald is a generational talent because there is no one like him. He is the first defensive player taken in this draft because he's the best defensive player.
Aaron Donald, amazing player, one of the best defensive players in the NFL, if not the best defensive player in the NFL. But in this scenario, get Brady some weapons.
I wanted Aaron Donald as my defender, so I think that's a fabulous pick. You know, you certainly have cap hit implications there, but guess what? We all talked about whether cap hits should matter, and then definitely none of us thought about it once the entire time.
DeAndre Hopkins is quarterback proof. He would put up these numbers if he had Nathan Peterman, for God's sakes. His catch radius is as big as the United States of America. There's no place you can put the ball where he's not going to catch it. He's really freaking good. And when you look at those guys, like you said, Michael Thomas was still on the board, Odell Beckham was on the board. I think those guys are really, really good talents. But I just think that right now, DeAndre Hopkins is playing as well as any player in the league.
DeAndre Hopkins will be, probably the second best receiver that Brady's ever worked with.
I like that pick a lot. You have the combination of ball control, targets, yards, and touchdown potential.
Man, that would be a lot of fun to watch Hopkins play with Brady. I think those two could elevate each other's game a ton. That is a match made in heaven.
The Pete Carroll one is the only thing that I question there.
Tom Brady can run his own offense. What does Tom Brady need? We're not going to bring in Brian Schottenheimer in this situation. And even if we did, he would just sort of put the cones down in practice, and Tom Brady would run the offense. So Tom Brady is a sustainable piece. He will figure everything out. You bring in Pete Carroll for the defense, you bring it for the big picture roster building, bring it for the motivation, win forever, all that shit. And so I just think that I don't know why it wouldn't work. If anybody is perfect for Tom Brady, I don't care. I don't want to bring in Andy Reid to make him into Patrick Mahomes. Just let him be Tom Brady. Let him be the offensive guru. Pete Carroll will take care of the rest. I mean, aside from Bill Belichick, nobody's better at the details. Nobody's better at roster building than Pete Carroll. You bring him in and boom, you're winning forever.
The only pick of Kevin's that I didn't love was that he waited till the 4th round to get a coach and then had Pete Carroll.
Pairing Tom Brady at 40, 41 years old with a coach who isn't good anymore is not the recipe for success.
Are there 2 more opposite people than Pete Carroll and Tom Brady? I can't imagine them having a conversation, honestly.
I'm not saying Tom Brady is a system quarterback or that Bill Belichick wouldn't be a great coach if he didn't have Tom Brady. But I am a little bit confused about how 42-year-old Tom Brady is going to do with not Bill Belichick as his head coach.
Christian McCaffrey is the least running back I could have taken. If I could have not taken a running back, I would have. If I could have taken a guard, I would have over a running back. I just think they're completely useless from a value standpoint. But Christian McCaffrey can catch the ball. You can split him out wide. He can just play slot receiver. That's what I'm going to do. You put this offense, I'm not going to actually run him between the tackles ever. I'm going to put him in the slot and make him an actual useful piece of this offense.
Tom Brady and Christian McCaffrey feels right.
He's basically James White, but more dynamic, which would be amazing to watch in that offense. I love that pick a lot. I think that kind of rounds out his draft, and I think that would be a lot of fun to watch.
Kevin is my main competition for the title. I think Kevin has one of the best teams.
I've got Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. Aaron Donald, the best player in the NFL right now. I've got DeAndre Hopkins, best receiver in the NFL right now. I've got Pete Carroll, who built the best roster maybe in the modern era. And I've got Christian McCaffrey, who is as flexible an athlete as you can have in the modern NFL. I don't really see, first of all, I'm not totally clear on the rules of this particular game, but within that, I don't see a way I lose.